Welcome to
Stays Crunchy and Milk.
If you have any questions or comments, we have multiple ways we can be reached.
Around?
That is one of the ways. Twitter is, of course, the best way for those of you that need instant gratification in this millennial-based world. And of course, the show's Twitter feed is at Skimpod. That's SKIMPOD. For the more patient amongst you, which is none of us, let's be honest, the email address for the show is podcast@stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Crunchy again, being spelled with a K. We're also available via Apple Podcast, something I've never heard of, Stitcher Radio. Are any of you still using that shit? TuneIn Radio, whatever the fuck that is, I couldn't tell you. Google Play, I've heard of that. I don't use it, but if you do, thank you. Spotify, now that one I use, so find us on there. I know we're on there. And of course, at the website, stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Now I ask that you please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show because honestly, I don't do that shit. And I need someone to pick up my slack. Now, I hear that there is a group of people here that collectively discuss music, and they provide for you, yes you, a pod called Cast. It's a musical discussion show built on a hip-hop foundation, which seems to be what makes the musical world turn these days, and I hear it's pretty swell. Our personal Twitters are Tatum216, Lunchbox2099, The Real ODP, and your host, Internet's Tasty Tayrell713.
They say they never really miss you until you're dead or you're gone, so on that note, I'm leaving after this song. So you ain't gotta feel no way about Jay so long. At least let me tell you why I'm this way. Hold on. I was conceived by Gloria Carter and Agnes Reeves, who made love under the sycamore tree, which makes me a more sicker MC than my mom would claim. At 10 pounds when I was born, I didn't give her no pain. Although through the years I gave her fair share. I gave her her first real scare. I made it up for birth when I got here. She knows my purpose wasn't purpose. I ain't perfect, I care. But I feel worthless because my shirts wasn't matching my gear. Now I'm just scratching the surface because what's buried under there was a kid torn apart once his pop disappeared. I went to school, got good grades, could behave when I wanted. But I had demons deep inside that were raised when confronted. Hello and welcome to Stays Crunchy Milk episode 376. Back up in this bitch again. That is the words of one Sean Carter, Jay-Z. His birthday will be tomorrow, December 4th, from when I record this, which is why I picked those particular lyrics. Plus, I love that album. God, the Black Album was so good. The Black Album came out right around the time my kid was being born and when I met Gabe for the first time. And so I always associate all those things together. So that album is about to be 17 years old. So Gabe's and I's relationship is 17 years old. Yeah. So I have to give it a smile at that particular situation. We're joined by the artist formerly known as Chesterfield Rockwell. It's the 216 Zone. Tatum.
Bang bang.
We're also joined by the guy who did not really appreciate the Fortnite Galactus event. It's Lunchbox 2099.
PUBG all day.
We also have the last of the Golden Coquilles, the suburban Puerto Rican. It's the real ODP. That's my homeboy, Gabe.
I'm barely here.
Yeah, you bet. My man, you is struggling. I was really legitimately on the verge of canceling tonight, but I knew we had to talk business. So I was like, well, if I'm going to be on fucking a call anyway, then we might as well just record a goddamn show. So. Well, I'm prepared. I have been.
You're prepared.
So, you all know, but the listeners don't know that my partner is ill. So she didn't give me any other assholes this week. But I have been pulling them like every time Box just sent one to us in the Twitter group. I would grab at least one of them, or if I saw something myself, I'd grab them. So I kind of. These are self-supplied other assholes this week. I had a couple of stories that I came across that I also stacked in. So I've been doing my work all throughout. But who knew, man? And close that, and also let me close time that is.
Yeah, like us were like doing the We Tried the other night kind of like fucked me up schedule-wise mentally. Honestly, like, because I didn't think that we had to do this shit today. But yeah, here we are.
Yeah, I told you I'd talk to you later in the week.
I know.
On that very episode.
And I know. And I'm not mad or anything. I'm just saying, like, the way the world works for me right now, it's like my days are by what I do. And,
yeah.
and for the last couple months, we've done this on Thursdays. And then to have to do one on Tuesday, it put my whole system out of whack.
Like, I ain't been right since.
Yeah, I stayed up like really, really late. On like Wednesday, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. My life has just been messed up ever since then.
Same. I was up very late, cooking and cleaning and shit. And you are correct. I have been off about since then. But I don't think I've been right since they gave me the hour back, man. It getting dark like 3:30. You know what I'm saying?
And what fucked me up even more is like I'm in a dark basement all day long anyway, pretty much. And this fucking life. But it's not terrible.
Yeah, I actually had I had the living room lamp on like last Friday for like an hour or two in the morning because it was like pitch black in here at like 11 a.m.
Yeah. It's like, come on, bruh.
And it ain't like I'm sitting in here with like closed windows and shit. I got a whole like bay window right here. It was just like, it was raining outside, so it was just dark.
Add, of course, to that the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, I went to go pick up some. I got some Redi-Whip. I just went to go get some whipped cream for the damn pies. And I'm pulling out of a parking spot at my local Giant Eagle Target complex. And this motherfucking Jeep comes through and whacks my car. The car my son had already wrecked and it had been repaired. And I just got back. Like literally only had back about 10 days. And this time, Megatron did not make it. And they totaled my car yesterday. Well, they totaled her the night before. And that is... it is both fucked up and tragic is way too strong a word, but it's jacked up. And it's like I had a good vibe going. I never was late on the payment and shit. And I was like, I was already 2 years deep into paying, and now I got to start from scratch, and I hate that shit. It's just whack to me that I got to like start all over again.
Man, all that feeling's got to be shitty.
Yeah.
And to like add on to the fact that you were buying Redi-Whip instead of Cool Whip, that's got to make it even worse.
Oh, I use Cool Whip in my peanut butter pie. It is called for, but I use the extra cream one. I buy Redi-Whip because Redi-Whip is actual whipped cream. Cool Whip is not.
I just don't like the cream out of the can. Like when I bought that kind of shit last week, I bought a tub of Cool Whip.
Yeah, see, Cool Whip is so very chemically to me. Whereas Redi-Whip is Redi-Whip is just how you make whipped cream if you were in a restaurant. It's just they gassed it for you as opposed to you having to buy CO2 cartridges.
Like my grandmother used to buy Cool Whip all the time when I was a kid, and like I would like sneak it a little bit, like go in there, get a little spoonful and shit. Yeah. Never thinking about what I was actually eating. So then, as an adult, I looked at the ingredients list the other day. I was like, man, there's a lot of shit in here for this just to be whip.
So I always buy. So like I said, I only use Cool Whip in the peanut butter pies, and I always buy the extra creamy version because it actually has a little bit more milk in it than the not extra creamy version. But yeah, that shit is just a chemical melange of all sorts, and you just accept it. Like I said, I only use it twice a year maximum. You know what I'm saying? I'm not regularly throwing down Cool Whip.
I'm pretty sure that's the first time as an adult that I've bought any kind of whip.
Yeah, well, I keep Redi-Whip on deck because I'm a man who likes to make Sundays at around the crib or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So it goes
strangely
down.
enough, he buys plenty of Nene.
Yeah, I just don't like the buttery taste of the Redi-Whip, that's all.
Yeah, and that's it. That's because it's actual cream. But also, I would tell you, same thing even for Redi-Whip is buy the extra creamy version of it. It's a better flavor profile than I feel of the red can. So if you buy the blue can, not the red. Oddly enough, it's the opposite for Cool Whip. Buy the red, not the blue. You know what I'm saying? You got a Crip and blood. I
think that's where I fucked up the other day. I bought the blue.
I'm about to say, either way, we're Latin kings, right? Or vice, whatever you want to pick.
Oh my gosh!
I'd rather be Triad.
They is cool as shit.
Yakuza.
Cool as shit.
Let's see. Anything else of the personal variety that I got to go? Like I said, my partner's sick. She has pneumonia, unfortunately. It is at this point a touch of pneumonia, so it doesn't seem like it's like whatever. But she also has an autoimmune disorder, so anything that is a touch for you and I is a bit hard on her. But
I've had pneumonia twice. I almost died. I was in the hospital for 2 weeks in kindergarten with pneumnia.
Me too.
So.
Oh man, did your classmates hand make you get well
No.
cards too?
But it was a little kid in a cage next to me in the hospital. Was you that little kid?
Probably not, because you're a little bit older than me. But I was there in spirit.
Okay.
The essence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I literally spent a couple weeks in the hospital. I was almost gone.
Oof.
And then I had it again in like middle school, but like I was at home for that one.
Yeah. So but because of the nature of the course, they gave her a COVID test, which she got back today, and she is COVID free. Thank the maker. But a friend of mine hit me up today and tell me that they had COVID. So I was like, oh snap. So I was like, it goes down out here in these streets. And of course, I like to give you the listener, an update of the great state of Ohio with our COVID things. And I go to get the COVID story that I would normally get for you from Cleveland.com, only to be told, oh, that's a subscriber-only story. Now, I get it. Cleveland.com got to make some money. But I would think stories regarding the state's position or problems with COVID right now, probably something you should be able to get to everybody. That one seems to be not something you put behind the paywall. But who am I to, talk bad about Cleveland.com because they just I want you to pay for their COVID
You don't got to
reporting.
talk bad about them, but Cleveland.com can suck my black balls for trying to charge you.
Easy as that. What it comes down to is multiple other counties went to the highest alert of purple in our state, which is level 4. And what's wild about it is like we are almost completely surrounded. Our county is Cuyahoga County. Every county around us, with the exception of Geauga County, is now purple. Geauga County has our only little exit. That's where we can go. That's where we can get out of. You go that way. You go Geauga way to escape.
Damn, I miss Geauga Lake.
But Lake of Ashtabula, Lorraine, what's beneath us? Summit.
Lake?
Lake is near me.
Lake is to the east of us. Yeah.
I'm geographically challenged. Don't mind me.
Actually, I just want
for the longest time, I would flip flop Medina and Mentor.
Same. I still do that in my head. It's what that and like where Hudson is located. I feel like there's another. Maybe we have a city called Hudson and a county called Hudson or something. Maybe it just fucks me up.
There is a city called Hudson.
Yeah, and like that one's west, right?
It's east.
East.
It's
It's a real rich neighborhood out east.
Whereas I feel like there's a Hudson or of some sort kind of going toward Cedar Point. And again, maybe that's Hudson County.
I don't know that area very well.
Yeah,
so.
Hudson is past like is it before Twinsburg or after Twinsburg? Like Macedonia. I think it's after.
I think it is after. I know, like I went there one time with my buddy to play Pokemon Go. They had like a torkoal nest, or what's the little shuckle? It had a shuckle nest at one point.
Nice.
I still want
nest. I still want a blue
shuckle nest.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It takes so much more. They raised their level cap to 50, right?
Yeah, my mom and stepdad called me last week for the first time in like 2.5 months to talk to me about Pokemon Go. Wasn't like, hey, how are you? What you been up to? Didn't see you for your birthday. You didn't come over for grandma's birthday. It was, hey, did you know that they raised the level to 50 in Pokemon Go?
If you can hit level 40, because I'm not there yet. I'm at 39 still. If I can hit level 40 before the year is over, which is going to be very difficult, but who knows? You get a special badge on your account that basically says you was like an OG level 40 cat, and I want that badge. So I bought a couple of eggs the other day and started doing some hardcore evolving.
Yeah.
But actually the move I guess is egg 5-star raid, and I'm like, yeah.
Oh yeah, 'cause you get like 40k experience out of that or some shit, right?
Yeah. I don't know. If you got some remote passes, I might have to holler at you. Or multiple things. If it's on your phone still and you're trying to do some remote raids to help your boy try to get to level 40.
It is on my phone. I think I have one remote raid pass, but I have about 300 regular raid passes.
They give you a free remote pass every day.
Oh.
So you can just always go in and snag.
They emailed me again the other day with another like, hey, you came back, but then you left again. Here's another code if you come back.
Okay, just a quick read of the counties in Ohio that are now purple is Montgomery, which is Dayton. Richland, which I don't know, it is to the southwest of us. Lorraine, Medina, Summit, Portage, Stark, and Lake. And again, like I said, if you were the listener, were looking at this map, it's like the county we're in is utterly surrounded by on all sides with the exception of one cut on the east side, on the eastern border of our county.
We're trapped. Our only move is to hit the lake and go to Canada.
It's for our safety and yours. Pfizer's vaccines are actually supposed to start arriving here like soon, and health workers and old people are the people who are supposed to be getting them first. It's a 2-dose system, and so you got to get hit twice. It's like the same thing for the HPV vaccine. You know what I'm saying? You got to get it. It's 2 times. You get it, not just once for it to be effective. So that is what's cracking in that regard. That's just your little Ohio COVID update, and then me hating on Cleveland.com for putting what is actually significantly important information behind the paywall. It's like,
I feel like they kind of do that kind of shit on purpose. It's like the stuff you really need to know. It's like, especially like they're trying to impeach the governor over pretty much over this shit. So
it's like he's stuck, bro. It's why he has not really done anything with some teeth behind it. Because the last time he did, he lost his health director because motherfuckers was threatening her and her family, and they threatened to him fucking take his whole job from him. And it's like, well, okay, then everything he does at this point is like,
shoot.
Could you maybe put a mask on?
I feel like if you're playing the middle like that, as far as like like we said last week, he is up there. Basically, he's like the parent who like the kids don't respect anymore. So everything he says, like they're just not gonna listen. At that point, like they ain't gonna reelect you anyway. So just do what the fuck you want to do until your term's over. Like, isn't he like 73 years old or some shit? Like, it's already a wrap for you, dog. Go out guns blazing. Like, I'm not trying to make it seem like I think he should do crazy shit and like hurt everybody. But like, if they're not gonna fucking vote you back in anyway, and if at your age you might not even want to get reelected, then why the fuck are you gonna like soft shoe everything? Like, rule with an iron fist.
On the adverse thing, maybe he really don't give a fuck. It's like, I'm almost done, baby. I'm a senior. I ain't got to turn in that term paper. Look, you already. I only got 2 more days of school. What you gonna do, teacher?
Yeah, maybe it's like, fuck it. I tried to save y'all. Y'all won't kill yourselves. Go for it.
Like, it was funny.
Yeah. But they didn't just try to kill themselves. They tried to kill my man. You know what I'm saying? They gave him a positive test, even though it turned out it was a false positive. But still, they tried to get him and his old bird. That's not cool.
Sometimes you get hit in the crossfire.
Yeah, what's crazy is like when he started to lock down not too long ago, like in Mentor, which is in Lake County, they had a protest in front of the mall, like in front of the BJ's Brew House. Don't fuck with my Pazookies, first of all. Second, it was like only like 7 motherfuckers out there. Like, it's 10 o'clock. It's 10:01. You can't make us go home.
Well, that and like from what I hear, like a lot of places aren't even like adhering to the lockdown like curfew anyway.
I mean,
like when I was out east for that steak dinner last Saturday, like they didn't usher us out of the restaurant. Like we left around 9:30, but like, you know, from what I hear from the people that live out that way, like they don't really seem to give a shit.
We don't need no water. Let this motherfucker burn, pretty much.
That and like, I'll be honest, man. From a logical standpoint, the whole thing doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, just say it. You're trying to close the bars at 10, because otherwise, like, what the fuck are you really accomplishing? Like, what does COVID only come out after 10 p.m.? Like,
you know, COVID is known to only know. COVID don't come out till like 11 o'clock. We close it at 10 just to be safe. You know what COVID do that.
Yeah, just say you want to close the bars.
In the words of
that's all.
Richard Pryor, what y'all waiting on? 11:30. we gonna pitch a bitch at 11:30. Or what y'all waiting on? 10:01. We gonna pitch a bitch at 10:01. And I have to go home with my blue nuts.
Just I don't get it, man. I do get it. It used to be a tenet of republicanism, you know what I'm saying, that you like, you know what I'm saying, you fought big government and government mandates and stuff like that there, and all of a sudden they decided they wanted to go back to that with regards to wearing masks and or telling motherfuckers to stay their ass home. Can't call it, man.
I just think it's funny that, like, I can go to a Browns game on Sunday afternoon with, like, 12,000 people in that bitch, but then it's, like, 10 p.m. comes, it's, like, suddenly I gotta go home.
No, it never made sense to begin with. Also, this league, I mean, look, bro. This league, Ohio State, all these colleges, and all this, like, COVID shit, I'm like, y'all just gotta stop, bro.
Because the funny thing about it, too, is, like, there's 12,000 people in the stands, and they're all spread out during the game, right? I went to 3 games in a row. You know what happens when that game is over and everyone is leaving at the exact same time?
See, my ass, I'm gonna sit right here for a little bit. I'm good. Tuck past me or whatever. I don't even know. Or I'm just gonna move out of your way. I'm gonna go sit over here and wait for this to clear out a little.
Every single game we went to, we were late getting there, right? The game had already, like, I went to 3 games in a row in our stadium and 1 in an away stadium.
Uh-huh.
And the away stadium, we were on time. The home games, I missed basically almost the entire first quarter of every game. At each game, getting in the stadium, I was still in a crowd of people getting into that motherfucker.
Why'd y'all late for all the games?
Because the people I was going with are never on time. I would get to my buddy's house, and then, like, I'd be over there, and they'd be drinking, and, like, they wouldn't be ready, you know, and it's like the last one we went to was just with me and two other guys. And, like, the one dude didn't, like, get his fucking pants on until, like, 15 minutes before kickoff. It's like, I still got to drive us downtown park. We got to walk over to the stadium. We got to get through security. Because, like, it's like COVID. It's like 35 degrees outside, harsh winds, rain. And they still want me to take, like, my fucking hat off to make sure I don't have a weapon. Like, you got a metal detector? Like, just let me keep my hat on, man. It's a downpour. You know what? At that point, I feel like you just have to applaud my ingenuity. Because if I have a plastic shank, why would I keep it under my hat? Why wouldn't I just, like, tuck it into my pants or something? I tell you this, though. They don't check very hard because my buddies have been sneaking in water bottles full of Captain Morgan and vodka for, like, every game. They never get caught.
Man, it is really... Maybe because I'm not a drinker of any magnitude... It's never that deep to me, dog. I don't gotta.
Oh yeah, like it ain't for me either. Like I haven't drank any of it. Like mostly, part of it is like, so they bought the tickets, right? Like I haven't given them money for any ticket, which I have offered, but they have declined my offer each time. But what I usually end up doing so that I feel okay is I'll drive us down there, and like the one time they gave me money for parking, but like I generally try to drive us there. Pay for parking, so it serves 2 purposes. That way I feel like I contributed for my ticket, and 2, they can't force me to drink because I'm driving.
Hey, 2 birds, 1 stone. You know, you're down.
although I did drink one time.
I mean, not to excess.
I mean, did you get lit?
Yeah, like, you know, like I was probably a little tipsy, but not I wasn't bad, but I wasn't probably sober either. I still had my faculties, but, like, it probably would have been close.
You have that heightened sense of awareness?
Well, don't do that.
Like, trying harder to...
But thank God, you know, it was, like, COVID curfew times, so I didn't have to worry about people on the road because they're already safely at home away from COVID.
You know what, I at least in my neck of the woods, that actually has been kind of it's been kind of creepy because they do seem to be, like, 10 o'clock, streets is, like, empty. And I'm like, what's going on out here? I'm like, oh yeah, everything's shut down at 10 now. Like some old sunset town, like back in the day. But can't call it, man. Like I said, that is your tales of COVID woe. I got a couple other stories to give you. Racial in their nature, but one's got a good vibe to it, one's got a bad vibe to it, but a good ending to it. So let us go. This is from The Hill. This is was written by Jordan Williams. Man receives racist note after putting up black Santa decoration. A man in Arkansas received a racist note after putting up an inflatable black Santa in front of his house. Chris Kennedy, who lives in North Little Rock, received an anonymous racist letter condemning the decoration, according to CNN. Kennedy read the letter during a live stream on Facebook. Please remove your Negro Santa Claus yard decoration. You should not try to deceive children into believing that I am a Negro, the letter said, according to THV11.
Oh, this letter's from Santa.
Apparently, I am a Caucasian white man to you and have been for the past 600 years. You're being jealous of my race is no excuse for your dishonesty. Besides that, you're making yourself the laughingstock of the neighborhood, it continued. During the live stream, Kennedy said he was trying to be as nice as I can, according to CNN. He added that he was actually filled with rage. Kennedy also showed an image of a white Santa with 2 thumbs down and a label taped to the envelope the letter came in, which resembled the Lakewood Property Owners Association LPOA logo, CNN noted. LPOA's executive director, Evan Blake, told THV11 that the letter did not come from the association. We don't want the people that wrote that letter in this neighborhood, Blake told THV11. That's what we don't want. Kennedy told CNN that he felt like a combination of politics and actual racism, as opposed to, anyway, may have motivated the person to send him the letter. I wonder if
it was typed or handwritten.
He noted that other residents have shared similar racist experiences.
They use the new Cavs jersey.
Blake told the news outlet that people bought black Santas in support of Kennedy, and that the LPOA would display its decoration once it arrives.
I wonder, did anybody buy Black Superman? Yeah. Black Superman.
Oh shit!
I wonder what would happen if I put up a black Santa Claus in my front yard. Because I don't give a shit. He could be purple for all I care. But I mean, I wonder what kind of reaction the neighborhood would have.
I mean,
the absurdity just hit me all at once.
Oh my god, I don't need nothing to do with it. So,
really, I think about it because most of the times when a family puts up something like that, it's a black family putting up a black Santa, right? How often is it a white guy putting up a black Santa?
I thought about that the other day too because I was at CVS and they had a black Santa statue in there, and I was thinking it made me think a couple things. I'm like, I wonder if the manager here is black because I don't, 9 times out of 10, I don't think no white dude gonna put up no black Santa. But then I was just like, so the pharmacist at CVS is white, the pharmacist, not the pharmacy techs. The pharmacy techs are usually black, pharmacist is white. Then I thought about that. I'm like, so if the manager at CVS of the store is black, do he or she be telling the white pharmacist what to do? No, nigga, don't you shut this shit down. And do he listen to her?
I wonder in those situations who got the most use in them stores. You know what I'm saying? Is it the doctor or pharmacy, or is it just
Patricia,
Sheila, who's worked for years in retail and now has finally worked her way up to get a whole store?
I know, my sister works in the pharmacy at Giant Eagle, and I'm pretty sure she works for Giant Eagle. So I imagine the pharmacy tech would fall under the Giant Eagle umbrella as far as, answering to the store manager.
That's very interesting. I think you...
Yeah, but then, like I said, who does a pharmacist answer to?
No, that's what I'm saying. I believe everyone in the Giant Eagle pharmacy answers to the store manager.
Oh. Man, I'll be...
Because I don't think it's an independent operation,
Yeah. Well, I'll be damned if I went to get my damn PhD and some shit and I'm fucking answering to this woman who... I said this woman. I really just got misogynist right quick. You know what I'm saying? This person.
You're so quick to empower women that you won't even think about the fact that the store manager might be a man.
But also, I was really about to talk shitty about this imaginary woman. Is this about to really take a turn? So that's fucked up on my part.
That is misogynistic. You son of a bitch.
Yeah. So, next story. This is from Adam Morrison at the AP. U.S. lawmakers unveil anti-slavery constitutional amendment. But T, ain't the 13th Amendment anti-slavery? No. In fact, the 13th Amendment clearly says that if a motherfucker's in jail, they can be a slave. This would fix that. Let's read. And if it gets too long, I'll paraphrase. But for right now, New York national lawmakers introduced a joint resolution Wednesday aimed at striking language from the U.S. Constitution that enshrines a form of slavery in America's foundational documents. The resolution, spearheaded and supported by Democratic members of the House and Senate, would amend the 13th Amendment's ban on chattel enslavement to expressly prohibit involuntary servitude as a punishment for a crime. As ratified, the original amendment has permitted exploitation of labor by convicted felons for over 155 years since the abolition of slavery. The 13th Amendment continue the process of white power class gravely mistreating black Americans, creating generations of poverty, the breakup of families, and this wave of mass incarcerations that we still wrestle with today, Senator Jeff Merkley of Oregon told the Associated Press ahead of the resolution's introductions. A House version is led by outgoing Rep. William Lay Clacy of St. Louis, who said the amendment seeks to finish the job that President Abraham Lincoln started. It would eliminate the dehumanizing and discriminatory forced labor of prisoners for profit that has been used to drive the over-incarceration of African Americans since the end of the Civil War, Clay said. In the Senate, the resolution has Senators Bernie Sanders of Vermont, Ed Markey of Massachusetts, and Chris Van Hollen of Maryland signed on as co-sponsors. The change to the 13th Amendment will finally fully rid our nation of a form of legalized slavery, Van Hollen said in an emailed statement. Constitutional amendments are rare and require approval by 2/3 of the House and Senate, as well as ratification by 3/4 of state legislators. Should the proposal fail to move out of committee in the remaining weeks of the current Congress, Merkley said he hoped to revive it next year. The effort has been endorsed by more than a dozen human rights and social justice organizations, including the Sentencing Project, the Anti-Recidivism Coalition, and Color of Change. Recidivism. It's long past time that Congress excised this language from the U.S. Constitution, which should begin to put an end to the abusive practices derived from it, said Laura Pitter, Deputy Director of the U.S. Program at Human Rights Watch, which also endorses the amendment. The proposed amendment comes nearly 1 month after voters in Nebraska and Utah approved initiatives amending their state constitutions to remove language that allows slavery and involuntary servitude as criminal punishments. In 2018, Colorado was among the first U.S. states to remove such language by ballot measure.
Colorado doing it right.
It goes on from there. What it comes down to is the prison industrial complex makes about $2 billion off of just forced labor. It's a lot of money to be just trying to give up on by a constitutional amendment, and so I doubt this would ever pass. But it brings a little hope to your boy. The motherfuckers is out here like, you know what we got to do? We got to start fixing some shit. And that has been what 2020 has been. I was recently on an episode of Cadillac on Mars, the homeboy Chalfie's new podcast, and one of the things he asked, we discussed what we took, the good we have taken from 2020.
Oh, yeah.
And the good I take from 2020, unfortunately, he had to come at the hands of the bad, and that George Floyd had to die to open up a lot of people's eyes to what has been going on for a very long time. And a lot of people seem to be waking up to like, damn, this shit is fucked up. And like they're like, yeah, we knew that. And I'm glad you're along for the ride finally. And notice that, you know what I'm saying, we have some real fucked up language in our Constitution, that redlining was a thing that still affects us all these years later, and so forth and so on. and that police brutality is a terrible thing that consistently happens. And they seem to be waking up from that, and it all came, unfortunately, on the shoulders of a man who was murdered by police. But again, that is one of the positives I took from 2020. It is sad that he had to lose his life, but upon his loss of life came the beginnings of what I hope to be change. You know what I'm saying? All movements have to have a start, and he was the start of a movement, and I think that's a little bit okay. You know what I'm saying? But that was it. That was all T has for his portion of this program. So we slide over to Ed. If you got anything, let's hit it, baby. And if not, that's cool too.
Well, I was thinking today, like I was cooking dinner, and I was thinking like, would it be possible for me to lease out my services? And I was thinking like, man, I couldn't do that because they would be expecting some dick too. So I think I would name my service Everything But Dick.
Everything but the dick?
Everything but dick. Because like, so today I made dinner, and that shit was literally almost an all day process to what I made. So I made chicken, like vegetable fried rice. To start it off, I made the rice in the morning because usually when you make a fried rice, it's rice from the day before. So to get it cold, I cooked it this morning around 10 o'clock because we didn't have our daily beating today. So got that ready. Then got some chicken thighs, and that was marinating all day while I worked. And then I went to the store and got some fresh vegetables. And also got some stuff to so we can make some Christmas ornaments tomorrow.
Okay.
I was thinking like, man, I did a lot of shit today. I wonder if I can lease out these services to to somebody else. And I'm like, man, no, they would expect some dick. I don't think I could do it. So I guess like if I put it in the title, they wouldn't be expecting it. So what?
That's the problem. Like,
Or they would try harder.
if I say to you,
They really want that.
if I say to you, don't think
They
about
really
pink
want that
elephants,
dick.
what are you thinking about?
Not giving up dick.
Dumbo. But that's how my mind works.
But if I say don't think about them,
I won't think about them. I'm good at following directions. I passed kindergarten real hard.
well, thanks for ruining my point.
No.
No, I mean, like, some people who weren't thinking about dick will be like, well, I wasn't thinking about dick, but now he's not giving out dick.
Okay.
It's like when you're not thinking about food, but if someone asks if you're hungry, you're like, I could eat.
I can eat.
So if we call it everything but dick, I don't know.
The only thing that happens to me kind of like that is like every time I try to log into my computer for work, I gotta pee. Like it never fails. Like I don't have to pee before I sit down and start putting in those fucking passwords. But as soon as I start putting them in, I'm like, oh shit, I gotta pee.
I'm like that every time after I jerk off.
What?
Within 20 minutes, I
I told
gotta
you
pee.
everything but dick. Damn.
I'm gonna Google the phrase "I don't want."
I actually Googled it the other day to see if there was something wrong with me or something.
I'm gonna Google the expression "I don't
my dick.
want dick" and see what comes up. And Google Images, it shows me.
A dick?
Actually, it doesn't.
Is it people protesting Dick Goddard?
Rest in peace, baby.
I don't want dick pics. I want mozzarella sticks as a shirt.
That's pretty great.
There's a meme of J. Jonah Jameson saying, "Don't send me dick pics. I want pictures of Spider-Man." All right, never mind. My point's completely ruined. Yeah, you know what? That's a great name for. Never mind. It's a great name for business. You should do that.
Okay. So
Don't listen to me. I've been drinking anyway.
It's okay.
I've been drinking.
So, if we were coming up with this business in earnest, what services do you think we should offer?
Well,
I mean, you cook. It's just so easy.
All of us don't cook.
No, I'm just gonna take advantage of it.
Like, Gabe, what would you offer?
I don't know. I'm a pretty good snuggler,
But no dick.
but no dick. My dick is reserved for one woman and one woman only.
Snuggling for the most part, is a nice way of saying we about to fuck. So you shouldn't do that.
Or we already just fucked.
That's when you go get the warm towel.
I like snuggling.
Well, I'm sorry, Gabe don't know nothing about the warm towel.
Yeah, no, my pull-out game's not strong.
I know it's not. No warm towels up in your house. I mean, now you don't got to worry about it.
No,
though.
not at all. Not an issue.
Man, that's a magical thing, though. Not having to worry about a warm towel. Only if you're just being nice. So, lunch, what would you bring to the table?
I'm pretty good at listening.
Okay. And research.
That too.
So, I kind of feel like what you would be good at, not to step on your toes, is like when the person, male or female, are looking to buy things, they're like, hey, tell me what's the best blender to buy. It's like, I'll get back to you, baby.
Well, first I'd have to ask, what kind of things are they looking to do with it? What colors do they like?
See, you
what's
have questions
what's their
that we
price
wouldn't even
range?
think of.
See, that's why you the blender dude.
I am relatively tech savvy, so in that regard, I can be there for you for matters of technology. That's about all I got.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. If you got it, you got your niche. You got your niche.
Yeah.
I think that.
I am currently looking for a fireplace, a fake fireplace log, Daniel, and the reviews be all over the place. It can be a heater, and in fact, if it was indeed a heater, I could, you know what I'm saying, that's a bonus. But really, I just really want the look and the crackle, and it's a difficult find right now. Not difficult.
Well, between
be
cooking and listening and platonic snuggling and tech support, I think we are offering everything but dick.
I kind of feel like you a rogue already, Gabe. But you gonna be fired within a couple of weeks, cause ain't nobody in hell gonna be like, yeah, I want to snuggle with you, but you gonna have to wear like a cup or something. You only allowed to go out on the road if you got on a cup.
Why is that? You think like it'll go through my pajama pants or something?
Yeah. See, that's even worse. You know kids go through pajama pants. You and I both know that. But pajama pants is a bad dick shield.
I wear underwear and pajama pants then.
And a cup,
I guess. All right.
You gotta wear boxers. You gotta wear backwards boxers.
I just think I'd be COVID ruins this, but I would be a great snuggler. I'm told I'm unusually warm, so I'm great during winter.
So what you're saying, Gabriel, is you're stereotypically a hot-blooded Latin man?
I guess I am.
Oh God.
It's hard to turn off that Latino heat.
I'm hot-blooded, check it and see. I used to think that song said I'm hot-blooded, it's a Latin disease. And for the longest time, I thought that's what the song was when I was younger.
Oh shit!
Like it's a Latin disease, really?
Beans and disease to you too. You see, that's always been your gag, man. You've been down with that shit since Red Fox. Well, we lost Anthony to some parenting concerns for the time being. I'm sure he'll come. Return. But
I do like his idea for a business.
I figure the point being, if we combine our forces, you got one serviceably decent human being. So that's pretty good, right?
I'm back, and my son was just telling me how The elf on the shelf freaks him out.
That reminds me, I gotta bust out Mr. Peppermint.
Every year, not every year, but pretty regularly growing up, we used to get a bird in the house. And it was like mostly in the basement. Like maybe once or twice, like it got in our house. I don't know how the fuck it happened. But I remember me and my brother used to, like, after my mother moved out of the house and it was just like us there, like we got a bird in the basement. It was like before, like we had got like new furnaces and like got everything capped off. And I just remember like having have you guys ever had like a bird flying to your face before and all that shit? Oh no. Man,
God, that would freak me out. I've had birds kind of get in my general vicinity, and I'll be like, whoa, you know what I'm saying?
It's happened to me a few times, like maybe 4 or 5 times in my life. You know, no, way more than that, because you know, once a year we would get a bird in the house, and so up until I moved out of the house I grew up in, then I moved back. Like, you know, how old are you when you start going into the basement by yourself? Maybe 6?
Dude, that shit freaked me out when I was still in like middle school. Like when I was living in my grandma's still. Like going down in the basement, man. Like I used to run up them stairs to get back up out of that
We
bitch.
used to play a lot in the basement, so it wasn't that scary until like every once in a while you hear that flutter of wings, and like I'm not going back into the basement for a while. But then I realized one other thing, and this is probably pretty terrible of me, but if you put down rice, birds will choke on the rice and die.
Yeah.
That's why I say you're not supposed to throw it at weddings.
Oh yeah, because doesn't it expand in their stomachs or something?
I wonder if that's true though, because who doing the research on that?
All I know is I put rice down there and them motherfuckers died. So I did that a couple times where it's like, you know, I would have to wash clothes and I hear that flutter of wings and I'm like, I don't.
Does that mean that they don't have birds in Asia?
Or Puerto Rico?
You just double down on that shit, gang?
No, that's a legitimate question, because there's like they have rice fields and shit out there, and if the birds can't eat the rice, like does that just mean that the area doesn't have a bird
rice
population?
Is a grain, and it's like usually held in like other shit before we see it. When we see it, it's like polished up and smaller and all that type of stuff. Like,
Is it just dehydrated?
It's way more than that, but yeah, you know what? Baseline.
I don't know. I haven't done the research.
Layman's terms.
Oh my God. I too am shocked that Gabriel doubled down on that shit. That shit fucked me up. It was twice as bad. It was too short.
I wasn't trying to make like a racist joke. I was just saying, like,
so
regionally speaking.
You weren't trying to make a racist joke.
Maybe I was a little bit.
Like, I just went to Asia because I know about the rice paddy fields out there. That's the only reason I said what I said. Gabe's the racist one. Racist.
I actually I'm trying to find an image of rice in its natural state.
I am the law.
I'm surprised Gabe didn't get a letter for his tan Santa Claus that he's got in the front yard right now.
You're jealous of my my whiteness, so yeah, that was quite the letter.
God.
We didn't really dive deep into that. There was a lot going on.
We're better for it. We're better for it.
I mean, what more can we really say that hasn't been said already?
Yeah, you know. Okay, the way rice looks early on, and I'm trying to view image, and then I can probably just send you the image itself. Copy.
Maybe while you're doing that, I'll look up why is it that birds die when they eat
if they do.
That link should just take you to a picture of rice in a field, and can kind of get a vibe of what rice is doing before it gets anywhere near us.
It's very boring looking.
Okay, so it's clearly something people Google search. Because I got to why do birds die when? And they eat rice is the third search. Hold on. Why do birds die when they hit windows? Why do birds die when they eat gum?
Wow.
Do birds die when they eat gum?
Oh, it said do birds die when they eat gum? Sorry.
Yeah, see, a question I have now.
Well, I'll look that up when I'm done with the rice.
Rabbit hole season.
Oh my god, that is what this show is some days.
Okay, so right now, when I have why do birds die when they eat rice, the giant paragraph at the top of Google says, an urban legend that keeps cropping up, especially during the busy wedding season, is that you shouldn't throw rice because birds will eat it. The rice will immediately begin absorbing water in the bird's body, swell, and if there is enough rice, it will kill the bird. This isn't true.
So we could have been throwing rice at weddings, all this. Well, funerals. We could have been throwing rice at.
It's already
Rice at a funeral.
Throwing rice at funerals gotta be the lick, right?
I want rice thrown at my funeral.
We're out here just tossing rice.
I'm gonna tell my wife that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, according to Terminex.com, birds can eat rice just like any
Not with
other
their hands.
creature.
There you go. Look.
That's pretty funny.
Oh.
But yeah, apparently the urban myth was what I said, like about the grain going into them and expanding in their stomachs.
Which makes no sense if you think about it. You know what I'm saying? It's
I
like
thought they choked on it.
Yeah. See, that seems like a potential. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you know how long it takes to cook rice. It takes a long time at a high heat.
But
you know what I'm saying?
I got shitted on by a bird before, and it was acidy.
You said it was like
It
wildly
was
hot.
acidy hot. I was just like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
So, I think I told the story about a bird trying to attack me a couple times on the podcast where it was like a bird with, I think it was like a red head and a yellow in the back of his head. And I read about those birds just being like extra aggressive.
This is how amazing Google is with trying to figure out like our next move based on shit we've said or we've looked up. Because I was like, you said the bird shit being hot, right? So I was going to Google temperature of birds. I got to TEMPERAT. Then it put temperature to put a stick in the oven. The word temperature in Cleveland. Number 4, temperature of birds.
Listening?
They be knowing. I mean, of course.
Birds, like us, birds are warm-blooded, which means their bodies maintain a constant temperature, often around 106 degrees Fahrenheit.
Damn. That's hotter than us. Them birds got COVID.
What about gum killing them?
Oh, shit.
Oh, I'll look that up.
Is this entertaining at all, or are we just doing this for out of our curiosity?
I mean, honestly, this is one of the best shows we recorded in a long time. I'm having a lot of fun.
I am.
I think this is some of our best shows come naturally, like with us just talking about shit that we find interesting. And then other people just happen to find it interesting as well.
Okay, it says yes and no. Yes, and that they can choke on gum like any living creature can. But no, and that like it's not like they eat gum and gum does something weird to their insides and they die or something like that.
Very good, very good.
That was informative.
So you can feel free to litter your gum bits and your rice as much as you want. You won't kill the birds.
So I'm wondering, like, I legitly go ahead.
Oh, what if we put rice in the gum?
That would definitely kill them. You would definitely be a bird assassin.
Fucking right. 27 confirmed kills.
Taking these birds straight out the bag.
Yeah, I legitly like sprinkled rice in the basement and it was dead the next day. So,
but it could have died from natural causes, just hanging out in the basement too long.
Lay down. I'm stretching my bike out. And I always knew I'm making stop there. But a lot later than a whole gang of people thought. Last of the real pigeons. Well, maybe not the last.
Maybe not the last. That soliloquy is so great.
Like, I used to legitly just watch just that part and then take the DVD out. Yeah.
Take the disc out and like.
I gotta find that shit. I really want to do that right now. But of course, I could just like look it up on YouTube.
That's got to be on YouTube, right? Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing that happens to me throughout the day. Like, I'll be watching something on Netflix or HBO Max or Hulu, and I'm like, I don't have anything to watch. I can go directly to YouTube, find something to watch, and watch it for hours while I continue to work. YouTube has just become so clutch, like with things to watch.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of my go-to, which is why I like it. So everybody else uses the various services I pay for. My mama watches my Hulu, Vanessa watches Netflix, the kids watch anime on VRV or whatever. So it's like I don't trip because it is being used. But me, I use YouTube, but also I do pay for YouTube. So so that's what's up. So
after you and I had talked about that, I read about how people who pay for like YouTube, it actually hurts the people who put shit up on YouTube because they don't get any ad revenue then, so they don't get paid.
Interesting. The guys from Kinda Funny said that people who pay for YouTube watching their videos gives them more money because they get an upfront cut of that.
Maybe they have a partnership. I don't know. Like, I know, like, do you remember, like, Rhett and Link used to be, like, YouTube originals and they had, like, a deal or whatever? Yeah. Maybe the bigger channels have, like, a deal or something. Like, I just know that, like, some of the shit that I read was saying that, like, asking to make sure that ads weren't blocked and were turned on and shit because, like, they didn't get paid otherwise.
So, who knows? But, like I said, that's one of the reasons I fuck with paying for YouTube is because, like I said, the guys from Kinda Funny was like, oh yeah, we make, that's like where we get like a good chunk of whatever they get from YouTube comes from people who are YouTube premium subscribers is how they described it. So I was like, oh no, it means I'm doing right by them. But yeah, man, I saw Claire's channel went live today. I'm hype off of that. Claire Saffitz, formerly of Bon Appetit, has her own YouTube channel going now. What's the Argentinian woman that used to run the kitchen at Bon Appetit before she left? Had long silver hair.
The little lady?
Yeah. Super pretty. Claire was always calling on her because she ran the kitchen, so she knew everything that was at there.
I have to say, like, Bon Appetit watching that shit was, like, so much fun all the time.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm not trying to say that Solo wasn't right and the shit that she brought up and everything. Like, she was clearly correct to call out the bullshit.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
Gabby,
it's kind of ruined it for me now. Where like I don't look at all of them the same. Like, even if they didn't personally do anything knowingly or anything of that regard, I don't like look at Claire with the same like excitement that I used to anymore, and like.
Interesting. I am I'm Gabby is her name.
I did just say that.
He said
just put it in my head. That's where I'm like, I didn't just get accepted, did I? So what has got me excited is I saw Rick. Rick is the gay Mexican guy. You know what I'm saying? He didn't do a lot in the kitchen, but he did do some stuff in the kitchen. And when I bumped into a video of his just on like again the front page of YouTube, I was like, oh shit, it's Rick. And like just ever since then, if they've been doing stuff, I have found all the old BA people, and I've just been trying to go support their stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been happy to see them back at it again. And it's like I said, the people who stayed, you know who the dirt people was, because that's the ones who stayed, and they said nothing since. And you know what I'm saying? So they just like
yeah, like I follow Claire on Instagram, and now like lately I've been kind of like, do I want to anymore? I'm like, how much do I still care? And then I was watching Matty Matheson the other day, like he had a new episode out. Like I have to say, he is kind of like falling off too, where I'm kind of like, man, you might have to get clipped. But he like FaceTimed Brad Leone for a minute, and I was just like, before I'd have been like, oh cool, that's Brad. Now I'm just kind of like, And like I've been watching Sola on Binging with Babish, but I think that's more because I like I'm starting to like Babish's stuff. Yeah. And like the Sola stuff's fine, but like it's I don't know, it has this sort of like I wish it didn't have to go down the way it went down for you to get to this position kind of feel to it for me.
Well, she's been doing stuff for New York Times as well, which has been real fun. Like they were saying they gave her some nice equipment.
She's blowing up. And it's like the empire fell and Sola has risen from the ashes to claim everything that it left behind. Which is why like it kind of like it tainted it for me in a little way because it's like she's like got like a rocket up her ass now. Yeah. And then like everyone else is like I'm like where did everybody else go? But that
one lady who I consider kind of milfy, I fuck with her. She just started a Patreon that seems to be doing quite well, and her and Molly did a video on Instagram Live today together, and they seem to have had a good time. So it's like everybody is getting to it. You know what I'm saying? It took some people a little longer to get set all up and so forth.
I think part of it though for me too when it comes to this is like I didn't give a shit about most of those people. For me, they were supporting actors
in Claire's videos,
we had our
basically,
and we had our main stars. Yeah. Like I'm not gonna go look up like the gay Mexican dude or like the Indian lady or the pretty boy European Italian other gay guy. Like I'm happy that they're like finding their niches or whatever and are hopefully doing well or whatever. But like I didn't really give a shit about them when they were on Bon Appetit, and I don't give a shit about them now that they're not on Bon Appetit.
Like I said, the one gay dude, Morocco, and Brad all stayed. And also, like I said, and of course, Morocco, of course, once Sola's whole story came out, that he was like one of the reasons he was one of the fucking problems in the whole operation. He probably should have been.
Yeah, because he lied, said he had nothing to do with hiring, and he absolutely did. And then I totally agree with Dan. Like I love the Clearest videos. I was like super excited when they came out. Like every time she had a YouTube, like I commented on all the YouTubes, like because I wanted her to make whatever. That shit been so long. I wanted her to make something. She ended up making it. I was super pumped. But then I'm like, it's just like it doesn't feel as great anymore because like you truly don't know. Yes, the people who stayed probably were pieces of shit, but you truly don't know like the hearts of the other people who went on and who went on to do other things. And then also,
well, but see, a lot of people came out with actual like literally written statements.
So did Chris.
I don't fuck with them no more. Well, yeah, but I can't. Whatever. But Chris stayed, and like I said, my separating factor is a lot of people came out and said I don't fuck with them no more. Because they not paying my homegirl Sola, they not paying my homegirl Gabby, they not paying my homeboy Rick, the brown people basically, and they said fuck them for that, and I'm leaving. And I was just, and if I am to believe them, and all I got is their word, then they did the right thing. They did the honorable thing. They said fuck that, and they got up and left, and they went to go try to sow their own success elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, once Gabby get it up and running hard, and I think she might have posted her first video recently as well. Respect. I will subscribe to her shit too.
Also had everybody had a statement. Everybody from the kitchen had a statement. I mean, and yeah, it just doesn't feel right anymore. It's just like once
it feels like, tainted.
Like I've said before, it's just like being a person of color and just knowing that anybody feels uneasy about something or like they're not being treated fairly, and it just doesn't sit right with me. And like Claire very well might not have did anything wrong, but at the end of the day, it's kind of like it's tainted. All of it's tainted. Like, just like they're gonna try to treat the Lakers championship this year, everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, it's because it was in the bubble." No, LeBron hair was every time LeBron loses a hair, he gains more power.
I was about to say that.
He's the anti-Samson.
I was thinking it too. Yeah, like, I used to like watching Brad shit, and like, I don't even know if he's even put out videos since all this shit went down, because I ain't seen nothing. And then, like, I used to like watching Delaney's travel videos, I mean, like, obviously that's probably not happening right now because of COVID, but like, I don't know what happened to that dude, and if like he does something else, like, am I gonna give a shit now? Like, and then, yeah, like with Claire, it's like, I followed her on Instagram before this shit happened, and now it's like, I see she puts up shit about doing her cookbook and all that. Like, I don't give a fuck about her cookbook.
The only thing that makes me kind of want to watch is, I wonder if she's still with that dude.
Yeah, because we kind of was thinking they broke up at last watch, because all of a sudden she showed up at her mama's house. With no ring on. And I'm like, did her and that man break up?
Yeah, like, I really liked watching her, like, remake shit. But it wasn't like I was attached to her as a person. I was attached to the content they were making.
Whereas I like Claire.
I like the whole... See, that's the thing, though. Kind of how they try to do the Hulk now. Like, okay, we're not going to make a whole Hulk movie, but we'll put him in these other little movies. I loved when she argued with Delaney and how she was being shitty towards Delaney. And, like, asked him to come there, but then, like, no, get out of here. Then he looks at the camera. Like... I don't need a whole Delaney episode, but I do need those 2 minutes of like him trying the stuff and liking it, or her asking Brad to come over, then she treat Brad like shit, then she call Gabby. Like, knowing that that's not going to be there anymore is kind of fun.
Yeah, her interactions are what made it interesting.
It's like watching that damn Joey Friend spinoff. It just didn't work. It wasn't Frasier.
Yeah, her by herself for like 20 minutes just being upset. Like, who the fuck wants to watch someone having a nervous breakdown?
I hadn't watched it yet, so we will have to see how this goes. But
she has a channel?
Yeah, she just.
I was just speaking in like generalities, like assuming that like she went on an assault. Okay.
Did I not say that to the group, or did I just say that to you?
I don't know, but you did mention it at the beginning of the segment.
I did say that.
Honestly, I was just thinking about the cookbook.
No worries. I did indeed send it to the group, and it just said Claire has her own channel and it's a link to the video. But nothing to it.
You know what, now that you mention it, I do remember you sending it. I was just in the middle of working, so I didn't really like look at it.
But just in general, the whole point being, YouTube is clutch as fuck for all sorts of things. I put a thermostat on the Focus before off of a YouTube video. You know what I'm saying? I watched them explain where to go, what I'm reaching for, how to twist that shit, and I did that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I fixed the dryer. I've done all kinds of shit off YouTube videos. It's my go-to when I need to figure out how to do something.
It's just we're all visual learners, and you know what I'm saying, and we want to be entertained. Yeah.
And like, don't get me wrong, like she very well could like have a channel where she shows us how to make different pastries and baked goods and shit. Because that's her wheelhouse, I think. So, and it could be good. Like, I don't know, but it's like I go into it with my natural inclination of just like, man, fuck this. But like, I would give it a shot. It's like I've been watching the solo stuff with Babish, and like him being there helps because like she's clearly like finding her way.
Yeah.
Now that like she's not in the background and the spotlight is on her, and she's like tasked with actually performing, like more than just like a support role, and like. I'm happy that like she's getting a shot. Like my feelings towards it aren't like fuck her, hold her down. Like how could you do this? Like shit was fucked up. She called attention to it. Like everything happened, and like it's like she came out of it better than she was, and that's all you can hope for people. But there's this like little part of me that's just like, man, like you fucked up like a lot of people's situations, good or bad. And, like, now it's like you got your own fucking mega deal with Babish where you're getting all this money, and now you got a cookbook, and, like, you're doing all... Like, shit came out real rosy for you, and everyone else is kind of, like, scrambling.
But not really. So, BA got... They fired their old editor. They hired a very black woman. That woman black. And then they hired a woman to run video. They hired... I believe she's Indian. If I'm lying, if I'm wrong, please, charge to my head, not my heart. But... They tried to bring in people of color to take over those roles, and then they made a point to hire people. So I don't watch BA videos. I deleted that account and I'm like, fuck them. I ain't fuck with y'all no more. I don't care who y'all hired to replace the motherfucking racists you had in there before then. But they are trying, and like I said, just a story popped the other day. How, like I said, they hired an overall new editor, a new EIC, who was a black woman, and again, the woman who runs the kitchen now is also a person of color, meaning she runs video in the kitchen, not just the kitchen, the test kitchen, but she runs video for Bon Appetit now. And they hired the one guy who be on Food Network all the time, that one African brother. I realize Africa is a whole continent, and he is people from a specific country within Africa. Please don't take that as what it is. And they hired some other folk of color to come through and work in the kitchen. But like I said, Morocco's still there, and we know he dirty. Brad's still there, and I can't call it. The one dude is still there. Like I said, all these people, I'm like, but the one Milfy lady already is a famous cookbook author. You know what I'm saying? So all that shit was just like extra to her. Molly kind of got a vibe going, as I said, so now she's doing her own thing. Basically, I know it kind of seems like Solo, like wreck shop, but the reality of it is all these people had gigs and jobs and other shit before Bon Appetit. This shit was bonus for almost everybody there, with the exception of actually Sola, who worked for Bon Appetit doing test work. So that actually was her job, and Gabby, who ran the kitchen there. So basically, 2 people. And everybody else is like, I do other shit. I write cookbooks. I do whatever. And so really, she took her own life. She took her own career into her hands. And then Gabby did the same. Gabby was like, well, you know what? You're right. They not doing right by us, because it's like, I think it all clicked for all the people of color. It's like, wait a minute, they not paying you either? Basically, that's why they never want you sharing your salary at work, you know what I'm saying? Because then if you know the truth, you know what's really up, you know what I'm saying? Oh, this dude making how much? And so forth, you know what I'm saying? So that's why, like I said, it got real up in that situation. And it's like...
Yeah, I mean, we all know how that went for me like 2 months ago.
Yeah, so, it goes down.
And don't get me wrong, like, I don't dislike Solar.
Oh, no doubt. No, I don't think you presented anything that makes people think that you do, man. I just I don't know. I fuck with it. And like I'm always down to add some more shit to my YouTube subscription just to see some more shit. You know what I'm saying? Because some days, Good Mythical Morning don't be hitting like I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? So
that's
it's like
the one thing I haven't been watching.
I have not watched them in about 2 weeks now, but I've been. It's Thanksgiving, it's car shit. It's been a very busy time for me.
At this point, like, my morning routine is like, usually I get up, I feed the cats, I come over here to the computer, I check my websites in the morning, see if there's any news. Then, I log on to work, and then, like, within a couple minutes after I check my work emails, I turn the TV on, I put on YouTube, and I watch Good Mythical Morning, and I watch Mythical Kitchen if they have a new episode. YouTube is like my primary viewing thing.
And I actually want to watch today's morning more and kitchen, because it's a Popeye's chicken burrito, and I'm like, I wants to know about that.
Popeye's chicken chorizo burrito, because I'm all cut up on like the Mythical Kitchen, but like Good Mythical Morning, it just ain't been having no episodes I've been wanting to watch.
The funny thing about Good Mythical Morning lately for me is I feel like Link is going through it a little bit emotionally, because he's been short-tempered at times. And, like, he did mention about, like, his therapy appointment on the end of one of the episodes. Mm-hmm. I feel like he's, like, he isn't his jovial self. I think
he is.
I feel like he's faking it.
I think he is kind of sick of this COVID shit.
Well, aren't we all?
And it's just real. And it's like, I know, but it's like, it's like some people just have some people are in front of the camera multiple times in any given situation, and it's like it takes a turn where you're like, I am sick of this bullshit.
Not only that,
yeah, like,
but remember, like, Red, like, did the whole write up about the Black Lives Matter thing and stuff like that. I noticed Link never said nothing about it, and like that kind of. I was. That's always been in the back of my mind too.
Well, they if nothing else, they are diverse in their hiring practices. So he at least if he ain't talking the talk, he is at least walking the walk.
At least one of them is.
Well, like I said, they're a team, and they make these decisions together. So they are the bosses of that corporation.
Brown was on the team too, and he did most of the work. So Somebody got to slam dunk that bitch, and somebody got to sit there and be like, well, I wanted to slam dunk it. You didn't pass me the ball.
Hey, somebody got to throw them dimes. Somebody got to throw them oops up. So
somebody always said to me, well, I think I said it for myself. There's not an I in team, but there's definitely an M and an E. I broke the show.
You know what that means? I'm sorry, I had a text message and I'm like, what?
Why you ain't tell me this cheese was this good, Dad?
Bruh, I had Lee shredding of the Comase and the Gruyere the other day for the Aligo. It was all a bunch of words, wasn't it? So, but I said, Xander, try the cheese, and he was like, he was nervous at first because it's like it's some wild ass cheese that he ain't never had before. But that look on his face when it was like, when that cheese hit, I go, that's that shit, right? That little funk behind it. I like a good funky cheese. And apparently now my son does as well because he was like, oh, that's good, Dad. I'm like, I know. I'm telling you, I'm putting you on the game that it's good cheese. So I hope my son now takes on the mantle of, a cheese connoisseur like his Uncle Ant. And all of a sudden starts sampling various cheeses. Why'd you tell me the cheese was so good?
Yeah, like
got you, man.
I haven't had much funky cheese lately, but I kind of feel like I was disappointed a couple weeks ago when you told me the fantastic Mrs. X didn't like that Gouda. I was like, I ain't gonna be too hard on her, but I was a little disappointed.
What is one to do?
Sometimes people are wrong and you just got to accept it.
I didn't even think about it like that. Thank you, Daniel.
Gabriel, do you have anything to share with the Empire?
No, I was hoping we'd wrap this up before 12. That doesn't look like it because we try to fill 2 hours.
No.
One, that is never the case. We had a whole business meeting before this shit started. So we've been on this for a while. So
we've been recording for an hour and a half. I have Audacity on my screen.
Yeah. So we can easily just go ahead and there you go. The first part of the show is now over. And we slip on and slide on out to some Am I the Assholes. Remember, this week, these are basically freestyles. And if we need more, I'm sure Anthony got me. So, Am I the Assholes, a segment that we do each week. It is a delight. And
I can give you a personal Am I the Asshole?
I like to start with that.
Then, of course, that's where you want to set it off at.
So, last Saturday, my buddy and his girlfriend took me out to dinner for my birthday, even though my birthday was 2 months ago. So about a month, I would say about a week and a half after my birthday, he hit me up realizing that he forgot my birthday. And, he said he wanted to take me out to dinner to this place that him and his girlfriend had gone to a couple months prior. It's a steakhouse on a farm out in the east area of Ohio. And he made reservations for Black Friday because his buddy and his buddy's fiance were supposed to be in town. So they wanted to have a big dinner with all of us. So that's why the dinner took so long after my birthday. And the buddy and his fiance ended up they came into town, but apparently the brother and the father of the dude have COVID. So they were tried to just turn right back around like old Grandpa Simpson entering the restaurant back to Vegas because that's where they live. So we go to the restaurant and we end up getting pork belly and ordering chicken wings, and I get a steak and sides and whatnot. And the owner comes over, which I didn't know it was the owner when he came over. He's like, "Oh, did you guys get the pork belly?" And we're like, "Yeah." And I'm just he's like, "Oh, what'd you think?" I'm like, "It was pretty good." I'm like, "But this one really sucked." And he's like, "Which one was that?" And I'm just like, "Oh, it was this one that was not cut up. It was chewy. It had gristle in it. I couldn't really get any flavor on it." He goes, "Oh, because, I was going to offer you free pork belly." I was like, "Well, shit, I'll take some free pork belly." He's like, but you just said, I'm like, no, dog. I'm like, I like 3 out of the 4. That's passing grade in the Cleveland public school system, all right? So, like, he comes over and he brings, like, pork belly and he has them in, like, little separate to-go containers. And he's, like, explaining what he did to each one. And I'm just like, he's, like, talking about the one I didn't like. And I'm just like, man, you're not selling me on it. Like, nah, dog, just don't do that one again. I'm like...
It's probably his favorite
like,
too. It's like the one where he put the most effort into is the one you're like.
I swear to God,
no,
he looked soul crushed, and like I could see it on him that he was trying his damnedest to be like a nice host and keep his spirits up. But I could tell that I kind of stung his pride a little bit by telling him that I did not like that one and why I didn't like it. And but he still gave us the pork belly for free. He still gave me free ice cream, and he still gave me a free shot of whiskey.
That is all right.
I felt like by being honest with him, I was being a good customer.
For sure.
Because like, I would feel like a restaurant would want to know the feedback of the people they're serving, so especially if it's an experimental dish, so that they don't maybe make something again that the customers don't like. So, like, I felt like it was in his best interest that I hurt his feelings while being... descriptive in my criticism.
Yeah, you critiqued his. He asked. You didn't just walk around.
I get like
just run up on him.
I started out by saying it was booty cheeks, but then I fucking gave a detailed explanation, very eloquently and like understandingly, of why I thought it was booty cheeks.
That's funny. I feel like I'm kind of rubbing off on you because I remember we went to the House of Blues and I got the fried chicken and it was terrible. And like they came over and they was like, so how was the food? You guys were like, no, that's okay. And I was like, the chicken was bad. And I told them all the reasons it was bad. It's like, what can we do to fix it? I said, nothing. I'm just letting you know what's wrong with the dish and why I didn't like it. And then you was like, why did you do that? And I was just like, because it was bad. Like, I don't want my money back. I did eat enough where I felt like it wasn't worth sending back. I didn't want anything else on the menu. I just want to let you know that this chicken was trash. And y'all need to do something better because it isn't good. So, did you retain that information and use it later in life? Or...
I probably observed it through osmosis because I can assure you it wasn't on my mind when I did what I did. I think part of it was I'd been drinking, so I was a little more free-flowing with my thoughts. Yeah, I wasn't, like, drunk, but, like, I'd had some whiskey up to that point. Like, I did a little whiskey flight and a little taster. And so, like, I was a little looped up and I was a little more jovial and a little more willing to talk to strangers, you know? And, like... I don't know, he came over, he asked, and I just started talking. Like, you know, I wasn't trying to... when he came over, I didn't know who the fuck he was. I thought maybe he was just a cook or something. Then when he walked away, he's like, I'll get you some pork belly. And then our waitress came back. She's like, oh, that's the owner. And I was like, oh, shit, because it's a family farm. The family owns the restaurant. And then, like, they hire, like, family and friends, I guess, to work it. So it's like a family-owned thing going on there. Their little ecosystem. It's like they do like their menu changes every day, and you know, like they ran out of shit that I ordered. Like I had to do a substitution. So like, it wasn't in my intention to hurt anybody's feelings, but like I didn't like it, and I explained to him why. And like I heard out what he told me what he was trying to do, and I felt like he just missed.
Yeah. Sometimes I mean, I've noticed lately I'll just go straight to the example. Like, we ordered BW3 the other day. Mm-hmm. We usually get Wingstop. I feel like Wingstop wings are better. They got, like the sauces and stuff they choose, like they put out are better. And that's what we've been getting lately. But Wingstop has been sucking ass. Like...
They fuck up my order every fucking time.
Not only that, the food quality has gone downhill. So... I got like an email or something, or, you know, got some inception from Instagram, but BW3 is like, hey, baby, it's Tuesday. we got buy one get one free wings today. So we ordered that, and that shit was immaculate. Like, the wings were on point. Like, I got the dry wood barbecue, so good. Like, everything was good. And I'm like, I haven't been to BW3 in years, not only because of the prices, but because of the food wasn't good. And I was...
Yeah, I think within the last year, they did some upgrades and some changes on their menu to try and modernize it and make it a little more gourmet.
I feel like they got sold.
They got sold?
I feel like they got bought by
Yum Food? Yum Brands?
No, like one of those investment groups. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I know within the last year, because I watch Dame Drops on YouTube. Within the last year, he did a video where he went to the BW3 test kitchen. They invited him out there to try a couple of the new burgers that they were working for their menu. So I know that they have shit going on, and they always do new sauces and stuff. So BW3 is pricey. So all the shit you said about why you hadn't been going there, I completely agree, because it's also why I generally didn't go there. But I know they were trying to do a little bit of a Domino's type makeover where they were trying to get a little bit better with their food.
Yeah,
they got bought in 2017 by Rourke Capital Group and the Wendy's Company, a co-owner of the Arby's restaurant group. And then Arby's Group renamed itself to Inspired Brands as the holding parent to Arby's, Buffalo Wild Wings, and R Taco. Inspired Brands intends for each restaurant to keep their individual brands, names, logos, and operating autonomously. So there you go. Yeah, they it's recent enough, and in recent history enough, they were bought, like I said. So maybe in that time, some shit happened to get them right.
Well, I have to say, Wingstop has been my go-to for wings because of the price and stuff like that, but they're not doing good in the pandemic right now.
And maybe that's it. Maybe that's it too. Competition, It used to be B-Dubs was the only game in town, but then Wingstop and what is Wing Street?
The Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut's Wing Street.
Yeah, it's they show up and it's oh fuck, you know what I'm saying? Let me get right.
My buddy drunkenly ordered those after so a couple weeks back, my buddy got real fucked up. He's on meds for something to do with his brain or whatever, depression or whatever. And he got real high and drunk and shit at the Browns game, and it threw all of his levels out of whack. And so after the game, it was a day it was about a month ago. And he kind of strong-armed us into coming back to his house after the Browns game to watch Wolf of Wall Street, which I had never seen before. So I was fine, I'll come back to your house. Because I was off the next day anyway, so I figured, fuck it. He needs the company. I'll go over there and I'll watch this. So he ends up drunkenly ordering 4 different restaurants on Uber Eats, right? I'm laying in his den watching the movie, and delivery drivers just keep coming to the house. He ordered a Euro from Greek Tavern over there, or Greek Village, I mean. He ordered Taco Bell. He ordered Wing Street, and he ordered something else. I want to say Burger King, but I don't remember. But so he had some woman come over, and then he abandoned me watching the movie, and some woman just showed up at his house. So when I left, he was laying on a couch in his living room with his head on her lap, and she was just stroking his hair while he was just out of his fucking mind. It was someone he knew. It wasn't a hooker or anything. It was someone it's one of his rotation people, I believe. So I figured in the position he was in, he wasn't gonna get up and put any of the food away because it was all just sitting on the table in the living room. So I went ahead and I put all the food in the fridge before I left. But I hadn't really had dinner, and as part of my payment, his penance for keeping me hostage, then abandoning me, that I was going to take some of them wings home. So I grabbed one of the bags of wings. So I ended up taking his 10 barbecue, his 10 Cajun, the mac and cheese, and the cookie that he ordered. And I brought that home, and I ate that for dinner that night and lunch the next day. The wings were good. Cookie was good, but it was a little overcooked. Mac and cheese was the worst fucking mac and cheese I ever had in my entire life.
We have not been batting well in this mac and cheese game lately, man.
I feel like my standards for mac and cheese have gotten higher as my life has gone on. Like, I probably still would find Velveeta acceptable because I always like putting peas with it. It was like kind of a memory kind of meal. But
we just had peas and macaroni and cheese. It's something about that sweetness with the sharpness.
Mm-hmm. And I like having the peas in the mac and cheese when you get like the little pop from the sweet peas. It's almost like having boba but in food form.
Natural boba.
Yeah. But yeah, it was like someone took a box of Kraft macaroni and cheese noodles and then just dumped like orange water on it. It was real bad. But the wings themselves were fine.
All right. So B-dubs, next time I'm in a wing situation, is the go-to. My son wants melt for his birthday, so that is what is going down here. So
I hope it's good because, man, all my favorite places have just not been good. I got melt one night and it was a cluster F and a half.
Yeah, the last couple times I've gotten melt, like I haven't had that same like this is awesome feeling. Last couple times I got it, I'm like, I paid how much for this?
Yeah. And it's funny, like the melt. Me and my girlfriend went to that like when we first started dating. We used to go to a lot, and then I sat back and thought, I'm like, man, was you only going here because we had just met? Because we ain't been to melt in like goddamn years now. What happened? She was just laughed and, oh, Anthony, and walked away.
Like, maybe I expect things, but here, let's read a couple of that. No, you weren't an asshole in that situation at all. That man asked you for your opinion. You told him your opinion, and that is okay. And maybe his meal is maybe his cooking is better for it.
I do want to close it on this though. I had this thought, and I just never got the chance to spit it out. When Anthony asked me about did he rub off on me as far as me giving my opinion to the owner, I think what it actually is the fact that I do more cooking now over these last few years. I like when people give me an honest assessment of the shit that I make because I want to know what they like about it and what I didn't do so that I can improve. So I actually prefer honesty in my cooking. I don't want people to tell me everything I do is amazing because I know it's not. I'm actually actively trying to get better, and real critiques is the only way that happens.
Fair enough. Well, I got a few for you, and here, I'll give you your options and you let me know. Am I the asshole for ruining the rice my boyfriend cooks with by consolidating the multiple bags of rice which he claims are different into a single container?
You'll go with the theme of the show.
I think is that one I sent the other day? Because I think I remember reading.
Either you sent it or I put it in. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I sent it because I remember reading the headline. I didn't read the story though. I just thought the headline was interesting.
The following is a copy from a book.
We went with that one.
I gotta scroll up and read the text. This one got erased, but they have a copy down into it. So, am I the asshole for moving out because my husband bought a PS5?
Okay.
Let me.
I
had to scroll back down to the copy of the actual thing on that one so I can read it to you. There it is. Okay, am I the asshole? This is another fun one. Am I the asshole for crushing my girlfriend's booby-trapped origami stars?
I gotta hear it. It's so weird, I want to know.
Throwaway. Oh, wait, sure, forgive me. Let me do this right. Am I the asshole for throwing away my girlfriend's booby-trapped origami stars? Throwaway. Okay, so my 25 male girlfriend, 20 female, is super crafty. She has about 10 Pinterest boards with 1 million pins or whatever on each. anytime there's a little trend that she has the stuff for, she'll do it. I remember seeing Origami Star trend a while ago. She did too. And she even wanted to do it so bad that she was willing to buy fancy paper just to cut it into strips and fold it up and toss in a jar. The fancy paper was literally just sheets of colored paper at ridiculous prices to make a sucker of someone. I convinced her that it was a useless purchase, and eventually she agreed. Well, she found a journal at a thrift store before the pandemic that had fancy paper. So recently she dug it out and started making little origami stars to fill jars and vases with for decoration. There are tons around the house. I honestly felt that they were kind of useless, so I ignored them until I was walking in our room and squashed one by accident. It was a satisfying and weirdly cathartic thing to crush it. So whenever I would find stray ones, I would crush them with my hands and roll them into little balls and toss them. She found out and seems hurt, which I don't understand. She could always make more. But she told me I could crush them if I left them flat and didn't roll them, but would prefer it if I just left them alone. I agreed, but did it again the same day out of muscle memory. My girlfriend didn't notice the stars I crushed missing, so I just kept doing it to the star population. I kept doing it to keep the star population thin. I see it as a bit like being helpful because she gets to make more. Well, eventually she found out I was still crushing them, but I told her one of her roommates, she has 3 in her house, must have been doing it. It was bad to lie, but I didn't feel like dealing with it. She said she didn't want to be accusatory, so I thought she'd let it go. I found out the hard way that what she actually had done was leave booby-trapped stars everywhere. I idly crushed one at my computer desk, one of my only sacred spaces in her house, and a little dried ball of fine glitter burst inside, and it went all over my desk and hands. The second it did, she happened to walk into the room and see it, and her face dropped. She told me she wished I hadn't lied to her, and that she wanted to talk about why I do that and how it makes her feel and all that. I told her it wasn't a big deal. I was crushing paper stars, but she could have been the reason for my PC got ruined because the glitter could have gotten sucked into it. I was frustrated. I tried to reasonably talk to her about it, but things escalated and she asked me to leave for the night. That night turned into a week, and now I'm not sure where we stand because she rarely answers my messages all over origami stars. Am I the asshole? I might have been a bit of a dick. You don't say, but this feels like an overreaction. I'm going to just leap into this one and say, yes, you're a colossal asshole and she is better for your ass being out of her life. May she never call you again for her well-being. Fuck off, you shithead. That's just my opinion.
Well, first off, I make sure I wrote down, she's 20 and he's 25. This nigga is a immature ass 25-year-old to be doing that. Like, you would have thought the ages was reversed. That's the first thing. The second is, she didn't break up with you because of the origami star. She broke up with you because you're a fucking liar.
Yeah. And the fact you don't get that, again, you are absolutely correct. You're an immature piece of shit, and she is, again, all you did was make her life better.
Yeah,
he's openly diminishing her excitement.
Yeah. He talked her into not buying the paper that she wanted, so she found a way to work around that little issue, and then he just starts fucking that up. It's like, bro, you don't like her. Oh, my precious computer. Well, bro, come on, man. Ugh.
He's lucky she wasn't like the chick in that video I sent you guys the other day that dumped the glitter all up in that dude's car.
Yeah.
For real.
Clearly she has the ability.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Man, I want to know how the fuck she made an origami star with a glitter bomb in the middle.
Well, I guess the way it would describe was it was a little ball of glitter. So they probably make balls of glitter for popping or cracking for other celebratory reasons, and just fold around it. I love it. I want to know about. I want to know more about her.
That's some ninja ass shit. That's like a smoke bomb. Who the fuck makes glitter balls for celebration?
No, I'm saying they probably sell glitter balls. If they have it, she probably bought the glitter balls from somewhere. I know what I'm saying, and so I think she just knows what she's doing. I mean, glitter balls. They can't be too whatever, right?
That's what I'm doing.
Glitter balls. Yeah, of all sizes too. Hell, Amazon has a page dedicated to just glitter balls.
Balls so glittery.
I type glitter balls in, and the first thing is a picture of a dog with glittery balls. I don't know why that came up.
Oh, you know
why. Yeah, mini glitter balls. They sell them on Etsy as well. So, yeah, you know.
But wait, are these like balls of glitter, or are these just sparkly balls? Because I'm looking at one right now on Amazon that says glitter balls, but it's just sparkly balls. It's not like little packs of glitter that are going to explode.
Can't call it. Won't call it. Either way, hey, I'm okay with her having done whatever she did to make this happen, and fuck that dude. Piece of shit. Ugh. Am I the asshole for moving out because my husband, Jesus Christ, bought a PS5? For some background, we are both 25 and live in the Bay Area where rent is exorbitantly high. I'm a medical school student and he is a Guitar Center manager. Y'all got, what's the old church saying? Y'all not equally yoked. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Somebody is doing things, somebody is not. Because I just read the Guitar Center is about to close down a good bit of their stores because they've been doing so poorly doing the
Did this one get erased?
So it did. So that's why I had to go scroll down and read the. I had to scroll down to get the copy.
I think that was probably a clue that shit is fake.
Well, apparently they just go through and erase them regularly. They just kind of keep the subreddit kind of cleaned up in that way. But I mean, like I said, I'm gonna read through it and we'll see. Prior to losing my job in May, I had been working an office job to make ends meet. I haven't been too serious about looking for a new one because it was near impossible to juggle work and studying full time and shadowing a doctor during a global pandemic. Losing most of our income meant losing our apartment, and we moved in with his grandma. I was making more than him before, so I hadn't experienced to experience the extent of his irresponsible financial habits. But I knew he was a bit of a slacker, obsessive gamer. I'm making hardly anything on unemployment plus my freelance photography, but have still had to try and save because he wasn't, and uses my money for our expenses. And use my money. Oh, she was trying to save because he wasn't, and use their money for her expenses. I've had many talks with him about this. I literally weekly about his spending and how we both feel like we need to move out because we can't take living with his overbearing grandma who demands I cook and clean for her. He buys whatever he sees online that he feels drawn to as if he makes upper six figures and can afford it. I've gotten upset with him every time and tried to have a sit-down discussion, but he just says, I'll save, I'll grow up, I'll stop wasting money, you're right, of course it never changes. Last night I come home and he tells me he bought a PS5. I checked the saves that I had put money into and there was only $50 left. Admittedly, I freaked out a lot and left to my sister's. I have been there for 2 days and she told me that I can stay with her, but he cannot. His mom called, his grandma has called, he has called, even my traditional Indian parents have called me to say that I have to go back to him and stop flipping out that he spent money on something to make him happy. I'm going to throw quotes around that because it is quotes, make him happy. I told him that I had set boundaries about his habits and mentioned moving out because I cannot be responsible for him if he won't try as well, which he knows I have brought up many times as an ultimatum. So I don't want to live with him until he has saved enough money for his half of us to get a new, cheaper apartment, which we definitely could afford together if he didn't spend his money. I feel ignored and undervalued. Everyone says that I'm in the wrong here, but I really don't know if I should apologize or hold my ground. I hate making him sad, but the living situation was overwhelming and makes me miserable.
Fuck him.
No, this is just the main reason people break up. Like the number one reason, money. Like she clearly, manages money well. He doesn't, and she doesn't want to carry his ass anymore. So I don't think she's an asshole. Like he's an asshole.
Like fuck your family, man. Like they aren't there supporting you, but yet they want to like butt in and say, "Man, fuck your family, fuck that dude." It's gonna be somebody who's gonna love you and love you the right way.
Exactly, and again, like I said, these two are going in two very different directions in life. This person is working toward becoming a doctor of some sort, and this dude is managing a guitar center. Now, who knows? He can all of a sudden have an upswing and become the district manager and then run all the guitar center.
Not really, because the bitch is closing.
Yeah, so,
It's got to be hard to be in a relationship with someone who's just a taker. Like, that's got to be draining.
Yeah. One of the comments says it's a $500 PS5 now and a $30,000 car later. He's never going to understand the value of money because he's never going to earn any. Damn. It's better to be single than married to a person who is already a drain on your financial and emotional health. Traditional families want to be able to smile and say, yes, my daughter is married and is on her way to becoming a doctor. All the while, the person you're married to is an immature liability. Who cares what they or anyone else thinks? Get out of this and find yourself someone who respects you and wants to be a partner in your life. They said it best.
Great.
I need no more responses. No, that woman is not that person is not the asshole. And fuck that dude. Man, that's two fuck that dudes today. These dudes is out here fucking up.
These dudes is the kind of dudes that make us dudes not be the dudes.
All right, I'm gonna do this one real quick. I'm sorry, Gabe. I'm not trying to keep you here over midnight. My apologies. I just want to get over this one because I thought Anthony would appreciate this one. Am I the asshole for ruining the rice my boyfriend cooks by consolidating the multiple bags of rice, which he claims are different, into a single container? I, 26 female, moved in with my boyfriend, 23 male. 3-year difference here. Earlier this year, he is kind of disorganized, so I tend to have to tidy things up a lot. He often complains that I misplaced his things, but it's really just his lack of organization more than anything. He keeps telling me to stop moving his things around, but we live here together, so I don't see why I should stop doing that. Strike one.
That's
anyway,
he happens
to be the one. He happens to be the one who does most of the cooking, and I'd say he is pretty good at it. One thing that does bother me is that he keeps multiple huge bags of rice in the kitchen, which he claims are different types of rice. But I looked at them, and they're all just the same white rice. I told him he should put them in a proper container, but he insists that it's just fine the way it is. But the thing is, I don't think it's fine the way it is. So yesterday, I decided to consolidate all of his rice by getting a huge tub to put all the rice in. I dumped all 3 bags in there and put it in the pantry. When I texted my boyfriend and told him where I put the rice, he completely freaked out and said I ruined the rice. He texted me that I can't mix basmati rice with jasmine rice, and it's all just white rice but it's all just white rice, and I don't see how it's any less edible. When he came home, he started yelling at me, and it was really hurtful because I was doing him a favor. Am I the asshole here?
Yes.
Yes.
She was already the asshole when she said he asked her not to move his shit, and she kept moving his shit. Fuck you for that.
I kind of feel like
it's boundaries that people be just stepping over around and saying, if somebody has set boundaries and you just say, I don't like your boundaries.
Now, I do most of the cooking, and first of all, if it's different kinds of rice, they got different types of cook times. Like I'm like to the point where I only buy Uncle Ben's because of the way it cooks. Like it's 2 things I've learned over my life Don't skimp out on laundry detergent because you have to wear your clothes. When it comes to rice, buy the kind you like, but don't buy cheap rice. Because if you're going to eat it, you might as well spend 70 more cents on it. And if you're in the kitchen, as long as you clean up after yourself, and like that, if that's your space and you claim it, and she already admitted herself, he does most of the cooking. Stay in your fucking lane.
Yeah.
You just said everything that I was going to say.
Basmati and jasmine rice require different amounts of water and cooking time. You ruined his rice. You're the asshole. Edit. You're the asshole because you were specifically told the rice is different, but for some reason decided that your boyfriend was lying and didn't even consult him before you mixed the rice.
There was a lack of trust there.
Don't.
It's like trust. I told your ass don't fuck with my rice.
Well, no, that's the thing. He said don't fuck with my rice, and she looked at it and said, "Nah, this rice can be fucked with." That's a lack of trust right there.
It's like a boundary.
Yeah.
It's exactly. It's like
not even just that, but if he tells her, "Hey, these are different," and then the person who doesn't do the cooking goes, "Oh no, they're the same." Like,
yeah, you're the
come
asshole.
on now, dog.
Yeah.
And Reddit agrees, and it has a big boom asshole at the top of this, but didn't delete this one. It is locked. You cannot comment on it anymore. So I think it's on its way out. But they did indeed declare, yeah, your ass the asshole.
Can you like grasp around the fact that like in this day and age, this is like the new divorce court? Like, can you imagine if someone puts this shit up on Reddit, like whatever the situation, and then they have to go back to their significant other and be like, all right, I'm sorry. Everyone on the internet called me an asshole. You're right.
Well, remember the one we read where the guy was like about to like not tell his wife he was dying? He did. He went and said, "Hey man, I went to the internet and they said I was an asshole for not telling you I was dying," and so it was helpful in that regard.
Did he die?
You remember we read the watch call and he was on his way. He was on his way to them pearly gates. So that was
you can't
very
not
sad.
tell your.
That was very, I don't know, that fucked me up. We had to go read a funny one after that. But that's how we do it. We do it each week. We kick it, we give you some show, and I think we do a pretty good job at it. I ask you every week to please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show wherever possible. Meaning go hit us up on YouTube, subscribe over there. For some reason, like I said, I was telling the fellas earlier, we were getting some burn on that last episode that went up on YouTube. It's hilarious. I truly think these people think they're going to see some titties, and you're just not. I'm sorry. Maybe that art was too provocative. I can't call it. But it'd be dope if you went over there and subscribed to the channel because it just helps to have more subscribers. The more subscribers we have, the more people potentially can see our videos. The more we get into the YouTube algorithm, and that's dope. You know what I'm saying? Because we trying to build here. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to go into 2021 with some shits in motion. So that's what we're doing here. If you care to support the show financially and have a few bucks to toss our way, you can join us over on our Patreon, where members at the $5 and above tier get extra content each month and early access to new shows we making. We literally were just discussing some shit again right before this episode started. We had a pretty lengthy business meeting before this to go over some showbiz. So we working on some things. I'm saying we out here. We got merch available over at tpublic.com/user/StageCountryandMilk, all one word. Somebody just bought a shirt the other day. Thank you for that, whoever you are. I hope it fits you well. Feel free to give us a call at 216-302-8763. That's 216-302-8pod. If you want to, we could be emailed at podcast@stagecrunchyandmilk.com. And speaking of emails, our favorite listener, I'm going to say that shit. If it ain't you, I'm sorry. But my favorite listener is April. And April sent us an email. And I was like, yo, shit. And at this point, this email has been sitting in this email box a bit longer than intended. April, my apologies for that. I don't go checking the podcast email as often as I should. I am going to work on that. Hi, guys. I have to agree with you on the Facebook challenges. You know, the challenges of having a Facebook. I used to do them. Oh, no, that's something different. I used to do them myself, but then thought about the why of so-called fun. Would ask you to post a challenge on your sons, your daughters, your parents, the 5 different challenges, what you look like as a baby challenge, so on and so forth. This is all information that they can use in the future to me. Remember we were talking about how, how I feel like taking everything, the actual pictures of you and all these things is basically machine. They're trying to make machine learning.
Creating a database and all that kind of shit.
Congratulations, Tyrell, on your son getting his license. Congratulations, Tatum, on getting your new car. Movies my grandkids must see is Princess Bride and Labyrinth. Also, Gabe's assessment of women, I agree with Tyrell. It depends on the person. I was in a relationship where the person did not plan anything. It's the person. I appreciate someone thinking about me, in any gift I receive. Great show. I love everyone's perspective on topics. You guys give love. Give love and show love to each other. You are very respectful with thinking contrarily to each other. I miss when y'all aren't all on because I can't hear Lunch or Tatum or Gabe give a counterpoint that will be amusing.
Well, you never miss an episode.
Because I ain't shit.
You never miss an episode.
Fair enough. Sincerely, April. Thank you so very much, April. It's so dope to hear from you. And you too could be dope as April by sending us an email. My listeners, please consider doing just that. Again, it's podcast at stagecrunchyandmilk.com. I promise you, I will check it more often than I currently am.
Yeah, you gotta admit though, like you do kind of toe like a lot. Like you're pretty much the same. Whereas like I feel like at any moment I'm willing to just say some like crazy ass shit.
Yeah. I try.
Gabe too, yeah, you know.
That's Tatum 216.
Yeah.
That's Lunchbox 2099.
AKA Chatty Cathy.
That's the real ODP. The sleepiest nigga in my clique. Don't want to see him.
I didn't fall asleep tonight.
I am the you did not. You do not. But you look like you need to. I am the Saber 713. You have just been podcast 2, and I know you loved it. Peace.
At least liked it.
Don't feed rice to birds.
unless you are a bird serial killer.
Do feed gum to birds, and let me know what happens.
They can't blow bubbles. Breath. They don't have lips.
What? Did you push stop?
Hey, what happened to you? You used to be beautiful.